Good afternoon, graduates, current students, parents and relatives, and faculty and staff. It's an honor to be here to represent the very first class to graduate from the Concordia University School of Nursing and acknowledge the accomplishments of all of the students graduating here today. It went by fast, just like everyone said it would, but still maybe not fast enough for some of us. Everything we have accomplished, from the exams, group projects and papers, and for the nursing students, checkoffs, concept maps, early clinical days, and grueling NCLEX prep, it has all led us here today. Starting this journey with all of you, December of 2018 felt so out of reach, and yet here we are. We all come from such different backgrounds and stages in our lives. Some of us are young and inexperienced, like myself. Some of us are married with kids. Some of us are brand new parents. And for others, this is a second career path. But what brings us together is Concordia, which literally means with one heart. We all have something unique and special to offer as the newest Concordia alumni that has set us apart and prepared us to be servants by nature. As we're gathered here to celebrate all of our achievements, we can't forget to thank all of our professors, coaches, counselors, and clinical instructors who got us to this point and inspired us to always serve with excellence, integrity, and compassion. Every single person that has been part of my education here at Concordia has gone above and beyond their duties to ensure I was prepared and that I had all the tools that I needed to succeed. Through my time here, I've made friendships that will last a lifetime, brought new life into this world and watched beautiful lives leave, traveled the world, and had the opportunity to continue playing basketball, the sport I love. The memories I've made, I will cherish forever, and I'm so proud to be part of the Alpha class of the Concordia School of Nursing. On the very first day of nursing school, each one of us were asked, "Why do you want to be a nurse?" Some of us had our answers down to a T. Some of us wanted to follow in the footsteps of family members. Some of us didn't know why we wanted to be nurses, and some simply because we like to help people. But we were all called to Concordia for a reason, and every student sitting here will attest that we have either found or solidified that reason. It wasn't an easy path. It was a learning experience for everyone involved. And I think that we've all had that moment that just for a second, we thought, maybe I'm in the wrong place. Maybe this isn't for me. Well, for me, this moment happened in simulation. And I know a lot of you have heard a lot about simulation throughout the day, but if you aren't familiar with what that is, basically, we're given a scenario on a patient and go into one of our simulation rooms set up like a hospital room. We have everything we could need from IV start kits, IV tubing, a medication room, and oxygen, really anything you could think of. And if we couldn't find it, all we had to do was ask Ben, and we could always count on him to get it for us. As the scenario unfolds with us in the room, our professors watch behind a tinted glass window and are the voiceover for our mannequin patient. And the rest of our class watches from the debriefing rooms across the hall. Well, one day in simulation, Betsy was my instructor. And after receiving a short report, my classmates and I entered the room. And when I say short report, sometimes it was patient's name, date of birth, okay, go. And being one of our first few semesters, we fumbled our way through everything. Our skills were still fairly new to us, and IV pumps were a foreign object that never seemed to stop beeping. And while we are convinced there will always be a trick to one of the simulations, this one seemed pretty straightforward, which is what concerned us the most. After speaking with our patient, calling the doctor to confirm orders, and attempting to start the IV pump, at some point, our patient's monitor went asystole. Our patient's heart stopped right in front of us. I'm sure you're all thinking we immediately started CPR, or called a code, or did something that would revive our patient. But no, we stood. We did it. We stood messing with the IV tubing, trying to get medication started for about 5, it might have even been 10 minutes before our class classmates watching in the other room, probably falling out of their chairs at this point, ran in with the crash cart to respond to what we never caught. This was my moment. We debriefed at the end and called it a day. I was clearly upset, crying, actually. Yep, Betsy made me cry. But that is the beauty of simulation. The past 6 semesters, we've encountered scenarios that are difficult to handle. Whether it was catching medication error, noticing change in a patient's status, or practicing therapeutic communication, this is where we were meant to make mistakes. We might not catch everything, and it might make you feel like a complete failure in the end. I can guarantee you in the future, I will never make some of those same mistakes. So Betsy, wherever you are, thanks, I guess, for making me cry. Now back to what makes us want to be nurses. Some of us have experienced firsthand the devastating consequences of car accidents, sports-related injuries, death in the family, and unimaginable diagnoses. I know I have. In 2012, my mom and I were involved in a car accident that I shouldn't be here to talk about today. We were T-boned, and I was ejected from the car and flight lifted to a local hospital. In 2015, I tore my ACL in a basketball game that should have hindered me from playing college basketball. I lost a high school friend to suicide and have had a very close family member diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a cancer of the blood. A baby brother born prematurely at only 26 weeks, having to spend months in the hospital, to be here today living a full and healthy life. And in each one of these circumstances, nurses played a pivotal role in the coping of these unexpected situations. No one asks to get sick, and no one wants to see a loved one struggling. Death of a loved one is unimaginable. But it is a nurse that has the power to make all of these overwhelming situations just a little bit easier. So I want to share with you part of why I wanted to become a nurse. A coach of mine once shared the quote, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who will never be able to repay you." This quote resonated with me because I've always wanted to help people. And this might be my simple answer as to why I wanted to become a nurse. But I truly feel this is a field where I can impact someone's life in a way that I can't be thanked. I hope each one of us during our lifetime has a chance to touch the life of someone in this way. The camaraderie, passion, and love present on this campus has equipped each and every one of us to be this person for someone. There may not be an opportunity to do something life-changing for someone every single day, but to live like there is, and to look for the opportunities to show love to the people around us. Every action we take from here on out will have an impact on someone's life in one way or another, and that is my challenge to you. Thank you again, Concordia. This place will always hold a very special place in my heart. I wish the very best of luck to everyone in their future careers. Thank you.